Hey, good morning, guys. It's Goose here. Happy Friday to you all. Thanks for being here. Welcome to STN Stock Talk with Ricky and myself. Ready for a great day today. We have a lot on watch with all these low floaters running around and everything. Just want to remind you guys, if you guys haven't gone to StockTradersNet yet and checked us out, please do. I mean, you should really check out, join the the free trading floor there. Feel free to ask us any questions, send any of this instructors a message. And for you already in the free trading room, just sort of a reminder, there's a 3-day trial for like 25 bucks to just check out what you're missing on the premium side. We have a lot of people that have been in the free trading floor for a long time. They go check it out and immediately they're like, this is a no-brainer. And they jump right in and realize it. So it's worth just a little taste, and check us out. It's definitely worth it. That all being said, I just want to remind you guys, like when we're coming up with these ideas, nothing's a solicitation or anything like that. We're just coming up with our own ideas and own thoughts on things. And just want to remind you to read the disclaimer below in the description area. Coming up with new ideas every day and new thoughts on stuff. It's challenging because there's always a ton on scan, so we don't always try to get every stock that's moving that day. Try to throw you some unique ideas as well. So with that all being said, guys, I'm going to turn it over to Ricky, let him get started, and I'll be back with a few other of my ideas this morning. So Ricky, why don't you take it away?
Thanks a lot, Goose. And just to kind of add a little to what he's saying, none of us over at StockTradersNet are into this being flashy, trying to sell you guys pipe dreams. The only thing that we do at StockTradersNet is try to help you guys have longevity in this game. We share these ideas, but we're also there because we have experience, we have wisdom, and we know that this is a very, very tough game to last in. And we're over there just trying to add value and trying to show you guys how to preserve your capital, which we feel is by far the most important aspect. So we really, really want you guys to come check us out, and not because we're trying to sell you something, but because we want to see you succeed. So that being said, if you guys could share the stream, spread the word, do whatever it takes to get more eyes on this. We're trying to really help grow this community and spread this value. I'm going to get right into it. So the first thing on my list today, guys, is DXR. Let me pull up my screen. Sorry. There we go. Sorry about that. So DXR, guys, it was up huge yesterday. Even though it closed weak, it was still up 71% when it closed, and it traded at almost 15 times the ATR at its highs. So if you watched yesterday's live stream, it's very similar to what we were talking about with RKDA. It's really impressive for something to have just a few days of huge range and then still hit over 10 times ATR on an even bigger move just a day or two later. The float is also very similar to RKDA's. The OS is like 3.8 million, and one guy holds 2.0 million by himself. So we're under 1 million tradable shares. That means the float rotated about 20 times yesterday. As always, you must use extreme caution with these types of plays, as they are super volatile. And I'll tell you from firsthand experience, even when you're on the right side of this trade, it's going to take you for a ride. The only way to mitigate that is through appropriate sizing. You must stay off the front side. If you short it, you need to wait for lower highs and lower lows and then use the levels to the left to risk against. If you add to a loser on this, it will devastate your account. It skips dollars when the volume comes in, and you must respect your stops. Now, as far as the company goes, I've never read filings that are so strange. And that's from a person that reads a lot of filings. I can tell you this is the first time I've read these kind. Their website would lead you to believe that they're some sort of medical device company. But when you look at the filings, it becomes clear that they're nothing more than a holding company that's trading securities, ETFs, funds, things like that. So for them to PR something about their medical device business is hella shady, to say the least. And they had shares easy to borrow earlier at Lightspeed. They yanked them already like they did RKDA yesterday. But there's somehow 300,000 shares showing for free over at Interactive Brokers, which is worrisome to say the least considering how small the float is. Kind of makes you wonder, where are all these shares coming from? No matter how you look at it, though, the trade is the same. Let it extend, let it do its thing, let it show you the backside, and then you spank it. If you're uncomfortable with the way these things move, then please, please do not trade this name. I'm not going to touch it until it shows at least a 20 attempt and stuff, and possibly shows that 20 is the top or whatever. But if you can't trade these kinds of names, then don't feel like there's not going to be a play for you. In fact, come on over to BKE, Buckle. These guys had earnings, and honestly, the way retailers have been having their earnings seasons go, they've been having a lot of selling into the earnings. They've all been pretty heavy. So I'm looking to see if we can get an opening shove into some of these very defined levels. You can see that all buyers in the last month or so are bag holding, and they're probably going to look at this as their shot to get out of Dodge. I've never been much of a mall person, but do people still shop at the Buckle? I don't know. My guess would be no, but I'm getting old, so I'm probably just senile and wrong. To add to that, I guess I shouldn't be making any statements about fashion. I'm just an old trader that sits in his office and tries to make some money every morning. Anyways, you guys got both the 20 and the 50-day SMAs up ahead, so I would look for a push and stuff on this to fade. It's going to trade much more organically than that low float trash DXR, and it's still most likely going to offer a buck or two of downside if it catches that fade. So the next thing on my list, guys, is Seed, S-E-E-D. And yes, I talked about them yesterday. And what I basically said yesterday is going to be reiterated today, because yesterday I said, look, they filed a filing that shows a presentation that is literally the same PowerPoint as they did in late 2016. So it was old news. All they did was add the word blockchain, which was also old news. And guess what they did today? They PR'd it. So it's old news again. Now, they did trigger SSR yesterday, so you're going to have to respect the fact that you can't be shorting into the bid or anything. In fact, I would actually wait today to see if we can take out that 136 level and maybe get a shove up into the 170s, 180s, and then look for some lower highs and lower lows. Real quick, I just want to throw you a freebie, which was NKTR, guys. Let me pull up that chart for you. It has some very defined levels, and I think that today could offer a trade one of two ways. You guys can see here, it's just retested this breakout level perfectly, and now it's pulled back again. I think if we lose this level, that it's going to be a short, and you got at least down to 95 where the 20 is. And I think if we can hold 100 and show strength, I think there's a good chance to get long and maybe get a push back to 110. So that's it for me today, guys. I'm going to hand it back over to Goose. I know he's looking at some really good names today. Make sure you stay safe out there, all right? Take it away, Goose.
Hey, thanks a lot, man. Great job as always. I'll try to keep mine a little short. I know we're a couple minutes left here, so I want to jump right in on a couple things. First of all, I love the buckle idea, especially up against if it does get up in that 20-50 area against that 50 and the 20-day. I really like that short idea there. So let me continue on with the overstock. And what I want to talk about with overstock, the numbers, a lot of times I don't like to get long against guidance, against earnings, and against coverage. And I got all three of them. And the only thing in my thought on this is looking over here at overstock is the 200-day. And you can see I drew a little line here up in this area. And what I want to see is I'd love to see an initial drop this morning, maybe test that $40 area. And that's where I'm going to look for a quick long and maybe a pushback up in that 43, 44 area for $2 or $3 trade. But you got to keep in mind, like if they want to really soak it even before that, I'll jump in. I think that there's enough meat on there. When you actually draw from where the drop was, 48 to 40 area, you'll see the 50% retrace is about up back up towards that 44 to 45 area. And that's kind of what I was doing just on the range of the name where I come up with 44, 45. But I do think there's going to be a long opportunity. Nothing to marry. When you have all that against it, you probably get a little bit you get some real selling in there, and it's nothing to fight. Wait for it to sell off. But if you do get a morning imbalance, I'll probably look to scoop some around that 200, just expecting, just because of the technical, that little pop up there for a couple bucks. So I am definitely going to be looking for that trade this morning and be all over it. I'll be on probably my top priority, but I'm not going to marry the name. If they stuff it and it's only up 50 cents, I'm not going to sit there and just hope that it goes up $2. I'll kick it, let it do its thing. If it washes under 40, I won't even look at it. There's plenty of other opportunities out there, guys. Next one I want to pop over to is AMRS. Why is this on my thing? Well, it was up more before you could see it hit a high pre-market of 740 or so. And what I had done earlier on AMRS, if you actually look back a little bit further back, you'll see this consolidation area was up in the 740, 750 area. So I was kind of licking my chops thinking it was going to go there. But I'm hoping if you actually look at the range in the name, you'll see again, kind of like one of the names we traded the other day, it doesn't really have a history of trading $2 gaps or $2 range, dollar, stuff like that. So what I'm looking for is a push up on 750. I might start ahead of time if it only gets up to 7.25 or 720 and look for a nice fade back down into those low. I'm not looking for it to go red on the day or maybe even go down to the prior close, but I could see low sixes and something like this. And I definitely will be looking for a short and a nice fade on this one. I think it's a great opportunity, and I'll be looking at. Don't fight it though. I mean, it had good numbers. That's why it's up. There's nothing that I'm going to fight for sure on this name, but I definitely think there's going to be a trade there. And remember, on some of these that have good news, the trade is, once it happens, it gets a push on 720, drops down to 640, whatever the number is. That's your trade. There's no reason to just stick and hope that it goes down to the prior close. For me, I like to take those trades and be done because it could just hit a level and then grind its way back up. And you don't want to be part of that. So, make sure you're locking in on these type of trades that are making pushes on good news. Lastly, KODK. Now, this one's already faded a little bit more than I was hoping, but I will mention to you what I was looking at. Is you could look on the daily. Let me drag this back out from the last chart. But you could see a lot of these type of moves were kind of stuffed into the 6. So my first area of interest was 6, but I was like, with all these other runners, does this name get some legs today for some crazy reason? Well, if it does, I drew a little. I mean, this right up into this 5,200 day would be so sweet. I would definitely be looking at it. But again, I'm going to wait with all these other runners. I definitely want to wait for that, lower high. But I think there's a great opportunity there, and I'd be looking to fade it, back down into that low 5s. If it doesn't present itself and it makes it a morning imbalance, pop up to 6 or 610 or something like that, and I could see, on big volume, another volume candle tries it or something in that nature, I'll do it on that second or third volume candle if it's not getting through that 610, 620 level, just knowing how it's acted in the past at 6. So that's my plan on these 3 names. I think there's some really good opportunities out there, guys. So again, don't get stubborn. Don't be egotistical out there. Just know if you're wrong and that one doesn't do what you were thinking, there's plenty more. Wait for the setups. We were talking about it yesterday in the community. There's always setups out there. You just got to be patient. Wait for them, and then you pounce. So anyway, with that all being said, come check us out, please, StockTradersNet. Hope you guys are telling your friends about us, and hope everything that we're doing is helpful. And please feel free to message us, guys. We really don't get a lot of messages from you guys all watching. I know we got, close to 100, 130 viewers sometimes, and just want you guys to all message us and ask questions and try to learn what we're looking at. And we're here to help you guys out. So that's the whole purpose of this, and that's why we're doing it. So I'm going to turn it back to Ricky, and we will see you guys. Have a great weekend. We'll see you guys on Monday morning, bright and early. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Goose. And guys, I see Tyler Furman has a question. It's about a ticker. I'm going to have to just say, come on over to StockTraders.net and DM me or put it in the chat. We'll be happy to discuss that with you. We try to keep these broadcasts right around 10 minutes just so that people don't lose their attention span. But we will be happy to answer any of those kinds of questions over in the chat. We hope to see you guys over there. As always, if you don't have a plan, you don't have a trade. Stay safe out there, and let's go out and crush it, guys. Peace.